Happy Halloween! So before I start, sorry for having to delay this episode, and since this episode is Luigi's Mansion, I'll make a shout out of 3 YouTube channels that made Let's Plays on Luigi's Mansion. Those channels are National Raider Let's Play Luigi's Mansion, Yoshiman9385 Let's Play Luigi's Mansion, and Zeki Son of All Games Let's Play Luigi's Mansion. Check out their channels and check out the Let's Plays. Hope you like our review. Happy Halloween! Halloween is here again, and why not play a game that suits well Halloween? Talking about Luigi's Mansion for GameCube.
Luigi's Mansion is a release title for GameCube, and it was released September 14, 2001 on Japan, November 17, 2001 on North America, May 3, 2002 on Europe, and May 17, 2002 on Australia.
As the title says, Luigi is the protagonist of the game instead of Mario. In this game, Luigi wins a mansion and contest he never entered. Despite not having entered any contest, Luigi tells Mario about the mansion. They decided to meet up outside mansion that same evening.
Isn't Luigi at least a little surprised or scared about winning a mansion at a contest he never entered? No, he's okay actually. It's not like, oh, let's get in my newly won mansion and see how cool it is.
When Luigi gets to the mansion, he doesn't seem to find Mario anywhere. So Luigi goes inside the mansion, finds a ghost, then he meets Professor Elvin Gad, or EGAD for short. In this game, EGAD is some kind of mad scientist that has an invention called the Poltergeist 3000.
The Poltergeist 3000 is a modified vacuum cleaner used to catch ghosts, similar to the proton packs seen on Ghostbusters.
On Super Mario Sunshine, EGAD also creates the Flash Liquidizer 3000 device, or FLUDD for short. Anyway, EGAD says that he saw Mario earlier that day entering the mansion, but he never came back. So EGAD teaches Luigi how to catch ghosts by using the Poltergeist 3000. Okay, now let's go to the controls. The controls on the game are simple. Instead of jumping, the A button is used to X-mine something, to open a door, or just to call for Mario. Imagine how annoying this can be sometimes.
Mario! Mario! Mario!
Mario! Mario! Mario!
The B button is used to turn the flashlight on or off, and in this game turning the flashlight on or off is very important to catch ghosts. The C stick changes the direction Luigi faces. The control stick used to move Luigi on the center controller setting or move Luigi from side to side on the side step controller setting. The L button is used to shoot out fire, water or ice depending on the power you are using. The R button is used to suck things up with the vacuum. The X button is used to search with the Game Boy Horror, the Y button is used to check the map, and the Z button is used to check the inventory. And the D-pad isn't used on this game.
And here on the control screen, you will listen to a clock ticking, and if you wait 3 minutes, the music changes. The music that you listen to is a music that came from Mario Paint for Super NES. This music can be listened on the Mario Paint title screen, which is also an Easter egg in Mario Paint. This music is usually referred to as Mario Paint song, but the music first appeared on a Game Boy game called X, which was only released in Japan. This music is called Kazumi Totaka song, or Totaka song, and this music can be found in almost every game Kazumi Totaka has worked on as a composer. Kazumi Totaka is also known as the voice of Yoshi and the voice of Professor Egad.
And talking about music, the game lacks on music because the Luigi's Mansion theme keeps repeating over and over. But to counterbalance that, there are also good music such as the boss battles music. Each boss has a different music, which is okay. And the sound effects are also pretty good, but the Portuguese 3000 lacks on sound effects. It is too silent, which is not like a real vacuum cleaner. But I think if it was too loud, it will make people who play the game very irritated because the vacuum cleaner will be too loud, so it's okay I think.
The graphics on the game are also pretty good, especially for such an early game. And talking about graphics, did you know that Luigi's Mansion for GameCube was originally meant to be released in stereoscopic 3D? Unfortunately, that never happened, since 3D TVs were not as widespread back then, and they were also very expensive compared to 3D TVs nowadays. But the GameCube system does allow stereoscopic 3D, but to do so we will require a special accessory, which was also very expensive to develop and sell, so the accessory would have almost the same price as the GameCube itself.
But Nintendo finally made it. They developed a 3D system called Nintendo 3DS and they are making Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for 3DS.
Anyway, Egad also gives Luigi a Game Boy Horror, which resembles a Game Boy Color.
The Game Boy Horror is used to find all kinds of secret stuff such as the Golden Mouth. I think the idea came from the Game Boy camera, which is an accessory released for the Game Boy.
It's a rudimentary digital camera, and it was created before the existence of the first commercial digital camera.
Anyway, Egad says that the mansion has appeared a few days ago, and he says that the mansion appearance may be related to the ghosts that were set free from his gallery, where he used to hang paintings of ghosts he found around the world.
So Luigi goes to his newly won mansion to find Mario. Now it's ghost hunting time. And no, I'm not talking about that crappy TV show, Ghost Hunters.
The basic idea of the game is just ghost hunting. You have to catch all the ghosts you can find and take them to Egad, who turns the ghosts back to paintings by using a machine called Ghost Portrificationizer. Blows out of her tongue. The name says it all, it transforms ghosts into paintings.
Differently from almost every Mario game, this game doesn't have levels, it has only the mansion which is split in different areas. Each area has a certain number of ghosts that you have to beat, and only one boss per area.
When we beat our first ghost in the mansion, a treasure chest appears. This is similar to the Legend of Zelda games, where a treasure chest will only appear after solving a puzzle or killing enemies in a room. When the treasure chest is open, a key appears, and the key looks small, but once Luigi gets the key is almost as big as Luigi. That's weird. When you get a key, you can check the map to see where the key can be used.
Through the game, you find ghosts that are hard to beat because they are faster. They can attack you or because they keep throwing items at you. And some of the ghosts will drop money as you beat them.
You will also find money inside closets, wardrobes and drawers, so be sure to check everywhere. You will also find golden mice, which are ghosts that when caught will drop lots of money.
And also, if you check the furniture in the gallery in the Game Boy Horror, Luigi says that the furniture here must be really expensive. He says this chair would fetch a pretty penny. What? Luigi's only thinking about the money? I think he thinks it's Wario. Luigi, I think you should really stop thinking about money and think more about saving Mario.
There are mirrors scattered around the mansion, and they can be used to take you to the entrance of the mansion, where you can save your game by talking to the Toad at the entrance. Where you will find Toads scattered around the mansion, so there's no need to go to the entrance of the mansion to save the game.
Beating some of the ghosts can be hard sometimes. Sometimes you have to wait for the ghost to throw something at you so you can throw it back at him, or simply wait for the right moment to attack.
Right when you beat the first gallery ghost level, you can go to the next room and there you'll find another gallery ghost. She's called Lydia and she's brushing her hair in front of the mirror.
How can she see herself if she's a ghost? I mean, she's a ghost and ghosts don't have reflections.
When you get the Game Boy Horror and search Lydia, a glitch happens. Her reflection suddenly appears. Actually, her reflection is partially visible when Luigi is not looking at her. But when you use the Game Boy Horror to check, her reflection becomes completely visible.
To fight some of the bosses, you have to trigger a certain thing so you can fight them. And once you enter a boss battle, you can't go back until you beat the boss.
The first boss of the game is a baby called Chansey. He turns Luigi small. To beat him, you have to get the balls he throws at you, and throw them back to him with the Poltergeist 3000.
Once you do it, you can suck him up with a Poltergeist 3000. But sucking him up isn't as easy as sucking up other ghosts in the mansion. He's stronger and faster, so you accidentally let him go sometimes.
Once you beat him, you appear back on his bedroom and a treasure chest appears. When you get the Game Boy Horror and check the treasure chest, Luigi has nothing to say about it. Strangely, Luigi says something everywhere you check, but not the treasure chest. Anyway, inside the treasure chest is a key for the area 2 of the mansion.
After you get the key, Igad calls you and tells you to go for his lab. That you go the ghost petrificationizer machine, which transforms the ghosts back into paintings. After that, you'll see the ghosts you caught in that area, and also the money you have found so far.
After that, it's the end of the area. Now you can go to the gallery to check the ghosts you have already caught. If you get the Game Boy Horror and check the paintings, Luigi has nothing to say about the ghosts. Not even something like, wow, that was a hard one to catch. He says nothing. Why? You can just look closer at the paintings by pressing A.
The paintings have rankings symbolized by the frames. There are 3 frames, and they are in gold, silver or bronze. The frame tells you how well you did at catching a ghost. Unfortunately, you can't go back and find a ghost again to improve your ranking.
On the second area of the mansion, you find a bathroom, and inside the bathroom you find 2 ghosts that will try to grab you. To make them let you go, you have to move your control stick back and forth. After you get rid of those ghosts, you find a shower. There's water coming out from the shower, and you also find a key.
The water will be used later when you find the water element medal. When you find it, you will also be able to shoot water with a Poltergeist 3000. The key that was found in the bathroom leads to the ballroom, where there are shy guys dancing.
To get rid of those shy guys, you have to vacuum up their masks, and then they will be vulnerable for you to vacuum them up. After you get rid of those shy guys, a couple will appear dancing. They are the floating whirling dance. As you can tell, the name comes from whirlwind. To make them appear, you have to stay on the spinning platforms, then surprise them with a flashlight, and finally set them up.
When you get the Game Boy Horror to check their information, it says, once the local world's champions, they can no longer compete since their feet don't touch the floor. Wow, that's sad. I think they actually can't compete because they're dead. I don't know, that's what I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. On the next room, you'll find a couple of ghosts, and there you'll see a mirror. On the mirror, you see what seems to be a switch that's on a place you can see. I like that you get to use every feature in this game to find hidden stuff, such as the switch.
There's a sign on the switch that says don't push. Obviously, if it's in a game and says don't push, it is meant to be pushed. Differently from real life, because if you find any switches that say don't push it, or it could be the end of the planet we live in.
When you push that switch, a fake wall will open, and there you'll find another switch behind a poster that says danger. That switch opens a trapdoor. When you open the trapdoor, lots of boos will appear. We finally get to see boos on the game, and now we have to find all of the boos on the mansion.
After that, Igad installs a device in the Game Boy Horror called the Boo Reader. And he says that to find Mario, I have to find all of the boos on the mansion. There are 15 total. This is gonna be easy. The way the Boo Radar works is very simple. A light on the Game Boy Horror will flash red when you get close to a boo, but it will only appear when you vacuum the place where the boo must be hiding.
Catching boos is easier than catching a regular ghost, because they don't go running around. But one problem on catching them is that they will go from room to room, so you have to keep going back and forth until you completely retain their power.
On the room, you'll find ghosts that can only be seen in the mirror. That doesn't really make sense since ghosts don't have reflections, but it's supposed to be hard, so it's okay. Now, one thing that was supposed to have reflection is fire. Here we have this torch that is lit, but you can't see the fire in the mirror.
After you get rid of the ghosts on the mirror room, you'll find a chest, and inside this chest is a fire emblem. Fire Emblem is also a game made by Nintendo, but today's game is Luigi's Mansion. Actually, Igad calls it Fire Element Medal. With the Fire Element Medal, we can find elemental ghosts, and also beat some of those ghosts.
The element medals will also be used to solve puzzles in some rooms, similar to the Legend of Zelda games, where you have to use a fire arrow to light up candles that cannot be reached. Here in the mirror room, you have to vacuum the fire in the torch. After that, you can expel the fire by pressing the L button. You have to use the fire to light up those candles, so you can leave the room.
On this room, you'll find this orb. You have to point a flashlight to the orb, and a ghost appears. She's Madame Clairvoyant, she's here to help you. You have to take lost objects to her, such as Mario's head. She will tell you more about Mario and where he might be.
On this hallway, you'll find a floating candelabra. which indicates that there is a ghost here. Shoot fire on it and a ghost appears. His name is Shivers and he is the butler of the mansion. Follow him and when he enters his room, it's your turn to attack. Also in the butler's room, you find a mouse hole on the wall. Get the Game Boy Horror and check it. You will be sucked in, and on the other side you'll find a room full of money. Here you have to use the firepower to beat some ghosts.
On the laundry room, you'll find Mario's hat. Take it to Madame Clairvoyant and she won't help crack this time. Takes for nothing. Actually, it's okay because she didn't charge. Maybe the next item take to her will be more useful.
On this hallway you'll find a room that's full of musical instruments. That's the conservatory. If you play all these instruments, a ghost in the piano appears. Her name is Melody Pianissima and she will talk to you. She will play your music and ask you a question. The music she plays is the water level music from Super Mario Bros. And the question is if the music reminds me of water or sky. Well, that's an easy question, isn't it? As you can tell, she loves video games just like us.
When you answer the question right, she asks me if I mind to do battle with her music sheets. What? Battle with her music sheets? What kind of question is that? Is she crazy or what? That's not what a sensible person will do. The battle is not hard. She'll throw her music sheets at me and I have to vacuum them up. After that, Melody is vulnerable, so I can easily vacuum her up.
After beating Melody, you get the key to the dining room. There you find a ghost called Mr. Lugs and he's a glutton. Look at him, even that he's still eating. The Game Boy Horror says he ate himself to death, but still wasn't satisfied. Oh, gross. To make him appear, get fire and light up the candles. When he's visible, get the Poltergust 3000 and suck the food he's eating. A ghost waiter will come to serve him. You have to vacuum the waiters because they can't serve Mr. Lugs. If he gets served, you have to suck his food again.
He'll start spitting fireballs at you. Maybe it was something really spicy he ate. All you have to do is wait for him to almost spit his guts out. He will get exhausted and that's the time for you to attack. Go across the table and vacuum him up. Keep in mind that he's really heavy, so you use all of his strength to avoid him. After beating him, you will get a treasure chest full of money. Yeah, money!
Why are we getting money anyway? Have you ever thought why we're getting money? What's the point of getting money? Does Luigi think he's Wario again? I thought the point of the game was to save Mario.
Maybe that's not Luigi, maybe that's Wario disguised as Luigi and we have to figure out why.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
On the kitchen, you find the water element metal. The water will be used mainly to extinguish fire, and you have to use it right on this drawer. The water power can also be used to water some plants. If you do so, they will give you money. Anyway, this order to the backyard. Actually, it's called Boneyard. That's a weird name for the place. In the Boneyard, you will find a ghost dog called Spooky. To beat Spooky, you have to get next to him so he wakes up. When Spooky wakes up, he starts barking, and his owner, Mr. Bones, who is also a ghost, says for the dog to shut up. Strangely, the dog owner is a ghost skeleton. Mr. Bones' name is maybe a reference for dry bones, but I'm not sure.
We have to vacuum him up so he drops a bone, and Spooky will go to the bone. When he's distracted, it's our chance to attack him. Catching him is pretty easy.
After you catch Spooky, get the Game Boy Horror and check the doghouse. You'll be sucked in and will appear on a graveyard at the back of the mansion. What kind of sick person would put a graveyard on their backyard? Well, a sick person. You have to check off the graves. After that, a few ghosts will appear, but catching them is easy. Once you beat an interdimensional grave appears, and there we'll find the second boss of the game, Bogmire.
To engage in the fight with Bogmire, get next to the grave and you watch a cutscene. After that, the battle begins. To beat Bogmire, you have to suck one of his shadows and throw him at the real Bogmire. The shadows are black and Bogmire is purple. If you get a big shadow and throw it at Bogmire, you have more time to suck him. After beating Bogmire, we'll go back to Egad's lab, and there, more gallery ghosts will be portrificationized. Now it's the end of Area 2.
Let's go to Area 3. The Area 3 starts in the courtyard of the mansion, and here we'll find a well, a bathroom, and 2 statues. If you check the statues, money will come out from them. Okay, that's a weird place to keep money. We will also find a birdhouse. If you check the birdhouse, an item falls. It's Mario's ladder.
Inside the bathroom, we'll find a scared Toad. Okay, that's a good place people should go when they're scared. Toad says that there's something terrible in the well. Okay, let's go to the well and find out what's in there. On the bottom of the well, we'll see Mario stuck in a painting. Okay, Mario, you jumped inside the painting and now you can't go back? It's very simple. You have to kill the boss and get a power star. That's what you're supposed to do to jump out from the painting.
When you go back and talk to Toad, he says that Mario has dropped some items. A hat. A hat? But I saw that Mario was wearing his hat. He also says that Mario has dropped a glove. A glove? But I saw that Mario was wearing both gloves. Maybe it's someone else's glove. And about the hat, I have it. It is Mario's hat. Anyway, Toad says that Mario has also dropped a shoe, a letter, and a star. Oh yeah, that's a common thing for people to carry around, the star.
Yeah, imagine if you lost your star and had to ask your friend to help you find it.
Hey, I did find my star, can you help me find it?
Yeah, sure, of course. Here you go.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, Toad says that he saw those items scattered around the mansion, but he can't remember where he saw the items. So he will simply not help me on looking for the items. It seems that Toad isn't my friend at all, so I have to do everything by myself. Thanks for nothing, useless Toad.
When we take the letter we found to Madame Clairvoyant, she reads the letter for me. It says, "Look out for booze, Luigi." Yeah, thanks for the warning, Mario. That letter would be way more useful if it got delivered to me before I enter the mansion.
Madame Clairvoyant says that the spirits are telling her that Mario is imprisoned within a painting. Oh really? I just saw that! Thanks for stating the obvious. And she repeats what she said about Mario being imprisoned within a painting. Stop it! I get it! Mario's imprisoned within a painting! And that's all she says.
Madame Clairvoyant, I hate you. You just keep stating the obvious over and over. You are useless.
The next room we have to go is the rec room. As we enter it, we notice a weird thing. Look outside the window. Where's the courtyard? All we can see is clouds. Here in the rec room we'll find a ghost called Beef Atlas. To engage battle with him, we have to punch one of those punching bags. The punching bag will hit the ghost and he will fall. When his heart appears, it's our chance to catch him. Be careful, because Beef will easily escape the Poltergeist 3000, so we will be able to catch him in 4 or 5 attempts. It's kinda hard to catch his ghost. After catching Beef, go to the treadmill and use the Game Boy Horror to check it. Luigi says, "I've always been a good runner." That's a tip for us to use the treadmill. Make Luigi work out a little. A key will appear, and this key will open a door that leads to the main hallway of the mansion. This will save us time when we have to go to the main hallway of the mansion. On the next room, we will go to the second floor and we will find a door on fire. Get the water power and extinguish the fire. Enter this room and get rid of all of the ghosts. Here we will find a thing that inverts the gravity field. There's something similar to this gravity inverting thing on Super Mario Galaxy. And also on Super Mario Galaxy 2, in a galaxy where you can invert the gravity field. Anyway, use it to fall on the table and open the chest that's on the table. Inside the chest we will find the ice element metal. It can be used basically to freeze some ghosts. It can also be used to freeze water. Let's try it. On the next room we'll find ghosts that come out from a painting. Do not suck these ghosts, because if you do so, they will explode and will make you some damage. You can try to get rid of those ghosts, but they will keep popping out from the painting, so there's no use wasting your time with those ghosts. But to enter one of those doors next to the painting, you have to wait for them to explode and clear the hallway. On the same hallway, we'll find a door that's sealed with some wooden planks. I have no idea how to get inside this room, but soon we'll find out. Maybe there's something with the room next to this room. On the astral hall, we'll see the most awesome room in the mansion. As the name says, there's a huge star in the room. Just awesome. Here we will find some candelabra. Get the firepower and light them up. Some ghosts and shy guys will appear. Get rid of them to proceed. The next room is an observatory. And here we'll find a telescope. Get next to it and use it. When we use it, we'll see the moon. After that, part of the observatory disappears. And when we see, we are in outer space. And Luigi said that he wanted to visit the outer space someday. Luigi, your dream has become true. We will see what looks like a bridge to other planets. We will see half a planet, and on that planet we will see a star. Maybe that's a star Mario has lost. We will see a meteorite. Get the meteorite and shoot it at the moon. Shooting the meteorite at the moon is hard, because you can aim. So you have to guess where the meteorite will be shot. When the meteorite hits the moon explodes. Literally, because there's fire and everything. Congratulations, Luigi, you just exploded the moon. Are you glad about that? Does it make you feel better? When the moon explodes, a bridge to that planet appears. A bridge on the space. What's that? Rainbow Road? Cross the bridge and get a star. Take the star to Madame Clairvoyant. Let's see what kind of crap she has to tell us this time. Once again, she's stating the obvious. She said that Mario was captured by King Boo, and Mario is telling her for me to be careful with bulls. Oh really? First I bring you the letter that says exactly that, and now you are saying that Mario is talking to you? Madam Clairvoyant, stop being so useless and tell us what we don't know! Let's go back on the second floor and go to the washroom. We will find the water leakage on the toilet. The water will be used to beat a fire ghost that's hiding inside the toilet. Get the water and make the ghost come out. To beat him, just shoot water at him until his HP drains completely. When the ghost is gone, the washroom is lit. Look at the wall and you'll see a poster that says monsters. In the poster we have on the left Boris Karloff as a monster, who's mistakenly referred to as Frankenstein. On the middle we have Christopher Lee as Dracula, and on the right we have Lon Chaney Jr. as a Wolfman, a reference to the classic Universal horror movies. This poster just sets the atmosphere for the whole game. That's a cool addition to the game. Anyway, we're going to screw up the poster, so say goodbye to the poster. Get the Poltergeist 3000 and brighten up the poster. When you try to do that, the poster is transformed into a blue poster that says "Get out of here," and the poster drains our HP every time we do that. Now let's go to the bathroom. There we'll see the shadow of a ghost called Miss Petunia, who's taking a bath. To catch Miss Petunia, shoot ice on her and she will freeze. Now it's our turn to catch her. Catching this ghost is not too hard. When we catch her, we will get a key that opens the remaining room on the first floor. On the next room, we will find a ghost called Nana. To make Nana appear, drop the yarn balls, vacuum them up and shoot them at Nana. But be careful, because when you get a ball, Nana will start following you and shooting lasers from her eyes. Okay, she can shoot laser from her eyes? That's a weird thing for a ghost to do. So she can shoot laser from her eyes. I'm wondering if she could shoot laser from her eyes when she was alive. When we catch Nana, we get a key that opens a room on the second floor, next to the entrance of the mansion. But first, let's go to the remaining room from the first floor. This is the billiards room. Here we'll find a ghost called Slim Bankshot who's playing pool. To catch him we have to wait for him to play. After that the balls will start flying in the room. Catch a ball and shoot it at Slim. Catching this ghost is hard because he can easily escape the Poltergeist 3000. After catching Slim Bankshot, let's go to the next room. The next room is a projection room. Yeah, a projection room. There's lots of films, speakers and a film projector. Just awesome. I'm wondering what movies we have here. Maybe any Frankenstein movie, or maybe any Dracula movie, or maybe The Wolfman. Let's find out. When we turn on the film projector, the most annoying kind of ghost will appear. It's the kind of ghost that will grab you slowly and drain your HP. There are 10 ghosts like this on the projection room. After beating them, vacuum up the screen. A picture of a bull will appear and the picture says, "Get out of here." Okay, I get it. I'll get out of here. But first, I have to save Mario. Now we have got Mario's glove. Ew, it's a little sweaty. Now we have to take it to Madame Clairvoyant. Let's get angry once again. But first, let's go to the room on the second floor that wasn't open yet. This is the twins room, and here we have another monsters poster. Just awesome. To make the twins Henry and Orville appear, get the Poltergeist 3000 and throw the two helicopters hanging on the ceiling. When they appear, they will ask Luigi to play hide and seek with them. They say for us to wait outside. When we come back inside, we'll see 5 boxes. They are hiding inside one of those boxes. To find out which box they are hiding in, get the Poltergeist 3000 and vacuum them up. The box that shakes when you vacuum them up is the right box. The twins are hiding inside different boxes, so 2 boxes will shake. When we find where they are hiding in, they say that we're cheating, so now they are angry. They will appear flying a plane and driving a cart. To catch them, vacuum up their toys so they fall. After that we can catch them. What makes catching them really hard is that we can only catch one at a time, so the other one will try to hit us. And if the other one hits us, we will lose because we are catching, but he will soon reappear. After catching them, we will find Mario's shoe. Now it seems we don't have much choice but to take Mario's glove and Mario's shoe to Madame Clairvoyant. Let's get angry twice in a row. She says that Mario's gloves is still sweaty. She says that Mario is crying out for us. She says that bulls have strange powers and when the bulls get our number, their power grows stronger. But they are afraid of the Poltergeist 3000. Yeah, I get it. Much of those things are already known. Now for Mario's shoe, she says that the soul is so worn as if he's walked 1,000 miles. She says that the spirits are coming back to her, and she says that she can see the scene. She says that she can see Bowser. She says that she thought that Mario has soundly defeated Bowser. She says that maybe King Boo has revived Bowser, and that's horrible for us. So now the spirits are gone. And finally she told us something we didn't know. She says that it was less of her power. She says that her work here is done. She says that she can go back to her painting and she thanks Luigi for that. She asks us to vacuum her up. Sure, we'll do it. Finally, she'll get what she deserves. That's what you get for being so useless. Okay, that's the only ghost that wants to go back to their painting. You can easily catch her because she won't struggle. After catching her, we'll get the key that opens the first room on the third floor. But we still don't know how to get inside the sealed room on the second floor. On the third floor, we'll find a room full of deer heads hanging on the walls and leopard skin rugs with heads. That will be a really scary place to find in a haunted mansion. Just heads everywhere. All of these dead animals remind me of some Seven Animal Protection Organization protesting about Mario wearing a tanuki suit on Super Mario 3D Land. They said that the game was encouraging younger children to kill animals and wear fur. Ah, come on, that's ridiculous. Anyway, after that scary room, we'll find some bulls flying around. Get next to them and a boss battle will begin. This time the boss is Colossus. To beat Colossus, we have to drag him into one of the Pegasus. And when he gets hit by one of the Pegasus, he will be split into regular sized bulls. To vacuum them up, get the ice power, freeze them, and when they are froze, we can vacuum them up. Beating Colossus is hard because when the number of bulls decreases to a small amount of bulls, hitting them with the ice power gets harder. After beating Colossus, we'll get the key to open Area 4. Now this is the end of Area 3. Let's go to the lab to portificationize the ghost of Area 3. When we open the door that leads to Area 4, a lightning strikes the mansion, which causes a blackout. The blackout is a good time to find some Easter eggs. Enter the Area 4 and go to the telephone room. Telephone room? Wait, am I playing Luigi's Mansion or The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening? Ring ring, we're speaking. A telephone is ringing. Answer it. When we answer the phone, someone on the other side asks who's speaking, and we can either answer that it's Luigi or Bowser. If we say that it's Luigi, the person on the other side says Toad. Toad says he's scared because everything's so dark and he's afraid of the dark. After that phone call, another phone starts ringing. This time it's Egad. Why isn't he using the Game Boy Horror to communicate with us? Egad says that there's a ghost on the loose who's called Uncle Grimly, and he says that he hides on the darkest places, such as a haunted mansion without electricity. And Egad says that my only chance to catch him is when the power is out. So let's go look for Uncle Grimly before turning the power back on. And back to the first phone call, if we answer that it's Foster who's speaking, Toad says eek. Anyway, we can find Uncle Grimly right on one of the first rooms of the mansion, the wardrobe room. To catch him, wait for him to be distracted and attack him. Catch him is easy because he won't struggle. Now we have a key to open a door in the basement. To turn the power back on, we have to go to the basement and activate a switch. During the blackout, all of the ghosts are back, so we'll find out how annoying those ghosts are, because they will scare Luigi everywhere they appear. So it will be really annoying. This is going to be a long journey to the basement. Literally, because the mansion is huge. At the basement, we'll find the switch that turns the power back to on. Activate the switch and the lights will be back. Now the lights are back and now we don't have to face those annoying ghosts anymore. Here we will get a key that opens the clockwork room on the third floor. Back on the third floor we'll find the clockwork room. Here we'll find some toy soldiers. No, we are not talking about the game Toy Soldiers. They are the clockwork soldiers. As you can see, they are ghosts. Ghost toy soldiers? Do toys also have life? And now they are dead? That's weird. In the room we'll find some clocks. Make them work, and after that, the clockwork soldiers will come at us to try to kill us. To catch them, we have to vacuum up their valves, and after that they are vulnerable to the Poltergeist 3000. Catching them is almost as hard as catching them Queen's Henry or Norville, because we can only vacuum up one at a time, while the other toy soldiers are following us and trying to shoot us. After catching them, a door to the roof opens, and from there we can enter the sealed room on the second floor. To get there, enter the chimney. Now we finally know how to enter the sealed room. But first, catch the Shy Guys and the ghosts on the roof, and we will get a key to open a room on the third floor. Now go to the sealed room. On the sealed room we find lots of money, similar to the mouse hole room. We will also find more annoying ghosts and get a key to open the last room on the second floor. After catching those ghosts we enter the guest room, which is an upside down room, and here we'll find a ghost called Soupy, who's sleeping. To make her wake up, we have to make her wet her bed. Oh, and talking about that, did you notice that her name is Soupy? I mean, there's P on her name, but there's a different kind of P. It is spelled P-E-A. Anyway, to make her wake up, throw some water at her. After doing that, she's vulnerable. After catching Soupy, a treasure chest will appear on the ceiling, which is actually the floor. To get access to that chest, leave the room and the room will be rotated back to normal. There's nothing important inside this chest, just money. Now back on the third floor we have the armory room. That's a weird place to have on our mansion. I mean, just look at that. Medieval armory everywhere. It's weird, but cool. On this room we catch some annoying ghosts and get a key to open the room in the basement. The next room is the ceramic studio. Check some of the jars and a ghost will appear. His name is Jarvis and he challenges us to freeze him 7 times. The way this minigame works is very simple. He will pop out from random jars in the room and we have to be fast to find him and freeze him. If we win his minigame we get to catch him. And if we lose his minigame we have to play it again, but we won't lose anything we have. Health or money, nothing. After that we get a key to open a room in the basement. This is the pipe room, and as we enter it we'll see what seems to be a waterfall. But this is actually a water leakage. Holy crap, if I saw in my house a water leakage like that, I would be very worried about that, because that leakage would take over my entire house and that wouldn't be nice. Here we'll see what seems to be toxic water, or maybe the sewers dimension. Either way it's toxic. What we have to do here is get the ice power to freeze the toxic water, so we can safely cross. And here we'll see a valve. This valve is used to cut the water through the leakage, so we can get a key inside the chest. This key opens the door for the cold storage. Here we'll find a ghost called Sir Wesson, who's frozen inside an ice block. Get the firepower and light up the torches around him. The ice will melt and he will get angry at us because there's fire inside the cold storage. He says that he loves the cold. I guess that he's also angry at us because we set him free from the ice block. To catch Sir Wesson, melt the ice and surprise him with a flashlight. But be careful with the ice blocks falling from above and be careful with his ice attack. When we catch him, we get a key that opens the last room of the 3rd floor. That room is the artist studio, and here we'll find the artist himself, Vincent van Gogh, a clear reference to Vincent van Gogh. On the room we can see paintings from all of the ghosts he created. Vincent van Gogh makes his creations come out of the paintings and come after us. So now we have to catch those ghosts. That will be easy. What makes catching those ghosts easier is that they will appear in the same place, so we can easily summon them and catch them at once. After catching those ghosts we can catch Vincent van Gogh. Catching him is almost as easy as catching Madame Glouvoy and almost as easy as catching Uncle Grimley. Catching Vincent van Gogh's ghost was harder than catching himself. After catching Vincent van Gogh, a key will come out from a painting he was working on, and here we'll also find the last bow of the game. Now the key that was found opens the last room of the mission, and that is where we find King Boo. Now let's open the door that leads to the secret altar. This door looks awesome. I mean, look at the details. The doorknob is a lion head. This door is different from all of the doors in the mansion. Why? Well, I think that's because it's the door that leads to the final boss of the game, King Boo. This door looks awesome. The secret altar is a place that we saw from the bottom of the well. Here we have King Boo staring at Mario inside the painting. To start battle with King Boo, get next to him. We will watch a cutscene where King Boo says, "Who would actually believe that mansions get given away in contests? Talk about stupid." Yeah, not that he's mentioned. I think he's right. And now the battle begins. On the background we see what looks like fire. Yeah, that's a real vision of hell. We will see what seems to be Bowser, but that's actually King Boo inside a robot that resembles Bowser. Despite the game not having much to do with Bowser, Nintendo had to put Bowser in the game somehow. That's okay. King Boo will show bombs at us, and we'll have to get them and throw them back at Bowser's head. Be careful because he can breathe fire and he can suck us up. After exploding Bowser's head, King Boo will come out from the robot. Now it's our chance to catch him. Be careful that Bowser's head will start flying around trying to hit us with fire, breath and ice breath. Yeah, ice breath. I never thought that Bowser could do that, but it's a robot, so it's okay. When we beat King Boo, Luigi will get King Boo's crown. Now look at the crown. Why is this crown different from the crown King Boo wears in other games? I guess that's because it's the first game that King Boo appears, but it still won't answer my question. After that, Igat calls us and says for Luigi to get Mario painting and take it to the lab. When Luigi grabs the painting, he holds it atop his head. Now Luigi is thinking he's Link from The Legend of Zelda. When the painting is taken to the lab, we can transform Mario back to normal, but first we'll see the ghost we caught on Area 4. Now we can transform Mario back to normal. When Mario is finally outside the painting, Luigi starts laughing at Mario. Okay Luigi, I know that you are happy to see Mario back to normal, but you are acting really weird. That's creepy. Actually, there's nothing funny because it's an evil laughter. Just listen to Luigi laughing. I don't get it. I guess that's not the real Luigi. I think that I was right when I said that this is Wario disguised as Luigi, but I'm not sure because he never took his disguise off. After that we can save the game, and the game can be replayed on the same file, but I'll not do that. At least not now. After saving, the game resets the money counter to 0 and a green number appears on the left. I think that's the number of times the game was beaten on this file, but I'm not sure. And since we can replay the game with the same file, does it get harder? I have no idea, because today I'm not replaying the game. I mean, play the game and beat it 100% twice in a row? That will be too exhausting. Thanks, but no, we're too tired. After that, the credits of the game. After the credits, Igad uses the money Luigi found in the mansion to build a new mansion. I noticed that I didn't die a single time of the game, but that doesn't make the game easy, because the game is not easy. It has some real challenges, such as the bosses, and that's what makes the game enjoyable. Now let's see what happens when I die. A text that says good night appears, and then I take it to the title screen of the game. And finally, for the gameplay, it is good because the game is not repetitive, and the game itself has a high replay value, so you'll never get tired of playing it and replaying it 1 year later.
Well, I guess I'll get my vacuum cleaner and get rid of some of these annoying ghosts in my house.
Wait! You need this. Take it. And don't get yourself killed! Ah! So, did you like the review? I'm pretty sure you did. And again, sorry for having to delay this episode. Now I'll make a shout out of 3 YouTube channels again that made Let's Plays on Luigi's Mansion. Those channels are National Radar Let's Play Luigi's Mansion, Yoshime9385 Let's Play Luigi's Mansion, and Zaki Son of All Games Let's Play Luigi's Mansion. Check out their channels and check out the Let's Plays. Happy Halloween! Bye!